I have had nothing to do over the past couple of days, so therefore I am making a tier list of every single Marvel movie, well, the ones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I am ranking them. And if you disagree, too bad, because my opinion is subjectively always correct, and you shouldn't lose sleep over some random teenage boy's opinion on fictional characters. But if you really want to, go ahead, do it. Um, I have decided not to rank anything outside of the cinematic universe because, like, such as the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy and the original Spider-Man trilogy, or like Jessica Jones and Daredevil, because they are not cinematic universe like the rest of these movies on this list are. And I have also not decided not to include the Marvel Legends because that is a documentary, or I think it's a recap about like all the characters, and like I think that's just for like the people who like casually watch Marvel. And without further ado, let's start. Uh, well, Iron Man. Iron Man's A tier. I think it's pretty fair. It was like, can you believe that this movie released in 2009 has better holding CGI than something like Black Widow or Shang-Chi, or like most Phase 4 products? Well, maybe because like Marvel used to take their time when crafting these movies, but let's not worry about it. It's a solid A tier. I think I can't see it putting any lower than that or higher than that. Like it's an OG. It's like always gonna be really good. And I don't, maybe you can push for B, very high B, but I think A tier, low A tier is very appropriate for it. Hulk is F tier. It's just like this is the one Marvel movie, Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, that was made by Universal, and it's just boring. I don't enjoy it very much. I can't even remember most of the things that happened in this movie, and this is the only like phase 1 to 3 thing that I've only seen once. Like you're That's the only one I've only seen once, and I don't intend on seeing it again. Iron Man 2 has some good stuff, like, and I think it's potentially sorry, I think it's potentially interesting, but like it just gets so lost with its like Justin Hammer robots and like Whiplash that I can't put it any higher than D tier. Thor is also D tier. Sorry, D tier. It's all right, but it's just a generic story, and I can't see it. Maybe you could push for low C, but I think D is fine. Captain Captain America First Avengers probably C. I enjoyed it a decent bit, but it's still a bit boring and lackluster compared to the other good Marvel movies that are not up here yet. Avengers was like either S or incredibly high A tier. It is very good on how it like takes all these previous stories and just meshes it into one good film, and it broke pop culture at the time because of how it combined all these like movies into the cinematic universe in a way like, and I just think it's pretty. Iron Man 3 is probably B tier. It's nothing special. Like that fire guy, what's his name, Killian, is so stupid ridiculous. He His motivation is because he for Iron Man did not want to meet him on a tower. Like it's kind of irrational to think that because, well, he's like a super famous man, right? It is really nothing to dedicate, like, what is it, like 10 years of your life to just to get revenge on Iron Man. It's nothing special in my opinion. And the fire guys are kind of lame as well, but it's all right. Thor, Dark World is, I think it's commonly regarded as the worst Marvel movie. Well, now worst one phase 1 to 3 Marvel movie because Black Widow exists now. Um, yeah, it's nothing special, but it's all right. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Captain America: Winter Soldier is like probably S tier. Like if you place it any lower than that, I don't know what to tell you. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably also S tier. Like it's just I don't know how to explain Guardians of the Galaxy. It hits different. It's very fun. Avengers Age, like uh, maybe high B or low A, but probably high B. It's just it's good, but it's not as good as this one. And Ultron is kind of boring and just savage. And like this is like the movie Quicksilver is introduced in, he gets killed off like immediately. So that's fun, but it's not that fun again. It's kind of just okay. I don't hate the movie or anything, but I think there's better ones out there. Ant-Man, I really enjoy Ant-Man. Like, I gotta be honest, like, it has to be, like, at least a mid-B. It's very funny compared to the other one. The other one's still funny, but this one is just sort of a little fun heist, and I enjoy it. It's kind of underrated as a movie, and it's kind of like after this like tense movie about a freaking robot army. There's just this little not heartwarming, light. What's the word? This light little mini superhero adventure, and it's pretty fun. Civil War is probably S tier. It's higher. It's probably higher than Guardians. Maybe it's higher than Avengers. Maybe yeah, probably like this. No, Guardians is higher than Avengers. But Civil War is like it's the action is off the charts. Like for real. Like that part with Black Panther, and I got a few problems with it, which might just push it back like around here, because like I feel like Spider Man's not that necessary in here, and you could easily just alter Homecoming and still build this relationship with Iron Man, but I still like his inclusion. It just feels a bit rushed. Almost feels like post movie. No, sorry. It just I don't think it works that well. From Doctor Strange is either A or really high B. It has like some of the coolest visuals in the entire MCU. Like it's all right. There's some. It's just an okay magic movie, I guess. Uh, I just found some parts of it to be boring, like that whole like liar scene where like the ancient one is stealing dark magic. Like that doesn't feel very earned. It's just kind of okay, bro. Like I don't get it very much. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is S tier. I have this controversial opinion where I think the second one is better than the first one, and y'all might disagree with me on that, but I really think that way. Just ego is such a personal threat to Peter, like how like Kung Fu Panda 2 to Kung Fu Panda 1, like but this one takes the concept of like a personal threat and like turns it like that part where he casually says that, "Oh yeah, I killed your mom, Peter." That was that was really good. Homecoming is either I'll put it in low A. I'll put you in low A as well. Homecoming is not as good as the other two Spider-Man movies, but I still think it's really good. It's pretty decent, I would say, but it's nothing off the charts special. Thor Ragnarok is like, am I being too generous with the S tier? Should I put? I think this is fair. Um, Thor Ragnarok. Well, it's been a recurring thing to watch this with my classmates during class, and it's been really fun. I really enjoy this movie, and I kind of seeing it like right after Thor: Love and Thunder made me forget what a good MCU movie looked like. I really like Korg in this movie, and Hulk is a good inclusion in this movie. But the first time I watched it, I forgot Hulk flew away like in Age of Ultron. That's the thing I like about Age of Ultron. It's like a turning point for it's the cause of so many of these other movies that had such a big impact on the story. Black Panther is probably an A tier. I really like it, but it's not as like it's not as good as I remember it being the first time watching it. The first time I probably would have placed it in low to high S, but now it's just high A tier. Killmonger is great. Killmonger is one of the best antagonists in the MCU, along with Ego, Mysterio, Thanos. But besides that, everything's sort of okay. I genuinely get the Black Panther's girlfriend and the soldier and Black Panther's sister mixed up all the time, and it kind of hurts. Infinity War is S. If you put it any lower than that, I don't know what to tell you. It's just the fan service along with like the menacing threat of Thanos is like. Plus, Thanos is like a person. Thanos is a character. You can tell he had his even though his motivations don't line up, and there's many flaws in his plan. He is he had he has those emotions. He feels bad for he hates himself when he has to kill Gamora, and like there's lots of good stuff in this movie that is it's so cool. Ant-Man and the Wasp is probably a high C tier. It's just not something I care about. I don't think it's like as good as the first one for some reason, even though like on paper I think the story is better. Like the Ghost is and like that side character, what's his name? The one that helps Ghost is really forgettable, and that rich guy is also forgettable, and he's just your average I want money guy. So yeah. This movie's sort of like Iron Man 2 to a lower scale, in which it has good concepts but just doesn't execute them as well. Captain Marvel's like probably low C or high D, probably high D. I just don't care for this movie that much. It's kind of boring and it's extremely confusing during the first 20 minutes or so. And I don't feel like seeing it ever again. Endgame is probably S tier. If you place it any lower than that, like maybe high A, but if you play like, cause like, oh yeah, actually maybe it is high A. That first hour is just really boring, and I don't have any interest in seeing it again. But like that time traveling part and the final battle is all really good, and it more than makes up for it. This might be my most. Y'all are gonna disagree with me on this, but I think Far From Home is like, it's the best Spider-Man movie. I think it's better than No Way Home, and I think it's better than Homecoming, and I think it's better than all these other movies. And the reason for that is like, actually, Endgame should go in S tier. Sorry, but like, it carries on Endgame's story in the life of, and it shows how it affected normal people, and it's really powerful. This whole finding a new Iron Man is just really compelling for Spider-Man, and maybe like it's good. It's really good. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it right now, but it's a fun little vacation. It's just okay. That's doing it dirty, but with a menacing threat, funny jokes, and the impact that Endgame left is carried on here, which is what most of Phase 4 should have been, but they refuse to do that, which is kind of sad. But this movie is a good enigma of what Phase 4 should have been like. And WandaVision's like low B or really high C, but I'm just gonna go mid B because I do enjoy it more than Iron Man. Like the first like 7 episodes or so are great, and like they just ruined it all in the finale. I probably would have placed it in low A tier or high B tier it wasn't for that stupid finale. But the finale drags it down so much that it goes into mid B tier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is F. It's better than these two, but I really have no interest in watching it ever again. And I can't even remember anything that happened. Fake Captain America and like a girl with freckles. That's the two villains that I remember. And like I think that Captain America's wife, cousin, niece that Captain America kissed was also in here, and she was a bad guy or something. Was she a bad guy? I don't know. It's just Loki sees here. I just I really liked it in the first two episodes, but I just don't care for it anymore. And I would much rather watch any of these before watching Loki again. Maybe I'll watch it again because I haven't watched it in a while, but I don't really have any interest. Shang-Chi is like, I know there's a lot of Shang-Chi lovers out there, but I don't care for Shang-Chi that much. Because it kills it all in the third act. If that third act had been as good as the first and the second, then it will probably be in B or A tier, but it fell hard in the third act. Black Widow's F. I used to like it for some reason, but like it's just really boring and forgettable, and none of this really amounts to anything important except for the dad who's gonna be in the Thunderbolts, and the sister who's gonna be in the Thunderbolts. Okay, speaking of the Thunderbolts, why is Bucky in the Thunderbolts? Like, isn't he a good guy? That's just a random thought. What if is okay? It's probably above these two. There was some good episodes, but like some of the episodes, like the Peggy Carter one and the Thor one, were just really uninteresting. So that brings it down a lot. Hawkeye. I enjoyed Hawkeye more than these two, but not as much as What If. So I'll go with C tier. It's just it should have been a movie. It should have been a nice Christmas movie, and it probably would have been a B tier, but no. The one time Hawkeye gets his own single project, it's ruined by this little girl who shows up and basically ruins Hawkeye's life. Well, not okay. That's an over exaggeration, but like even Black Widow's movie felt like a Black Widow movie. It didn't feel like a Yelena movie. This show feels like a Kate Bishop show, not a Hawkeye show, and they don't really do anything interesting with Yelena. Why is she in the Thunderbolts if she supposedly got her closure here? Like, I don't get this at all, but it's all right. Eternals is F tier. Sorry, F tier. I can't remember a single one of these heroes' names except like Icarus. That's the only one I remember, and the only reason I remember that is because of an inside joke between my friend group. This movie is so unforgettable. Even this stupid thumbnail poster thing is the most generic thing, the most generic one out of all of these. You can't even see these little guys' faces. Like, I need to rant about this movie one day about how it's terrible. No Way Home is a godsend. It's like A tier for sure. Like, it's a I really like No Way Home. I watched it yesterday and it just made me frustrated about what Phase 4 could have been like. Just like how Far From Home does. And it just it's really good. Let's just if this is up top of Phase 4, then it's a really damn good Spider-Man movie, but not as much as a good MCU movie. But it has some really good Strange stuff, so there's also some extra points for that. Doctor Strange is like I don't really want to see it again. It's C tier. This just it's so confusing, man. This whole Illuminati confuses me. And well, it's just a bunch of fan service well, fan service in quotes, like how one movie does fan service well, except this one just kills off all its characters instead. Yeah, that's basically all what happened. Moon Knight, I like Moon Knight. It's probably a B tier, but I have no interest in watching the first half of it again, and the second half is when it gets good. Miss Marvel, I again have no interest in watching it, but it's probably better than Doctor Strange. Thor, I kind of despise this movie. That one, there's just so many gags that drag down this movie, little by little by little by little, until I completely hate this movie. Why is the Guardians not in this movie more? Like, for handling when Jane has cancer, and Peter has a mom who had cancer. Like, there's nothing. Like, of course, they should have showed up in the most of the movie. But imagine No Way Home, except Strange does the spell, and he just leaves, and he leaves Spider-Man to do it all by himself, and that's basically Thor: Love and Thunder with the Guardians. But whatever. She-Hulk, I think it's F tier. If you place it any higher than that, then I don't know what to tell you. And last but probably least, I am Groot. I don't know where to rank this one because like there's nothing wrong with it, but like I can't really rank it because of how there's nothing wrong with it because it's just 5 2-minute episodes. But I wanted to see more of the Guardians. Like Rocket showing up in that one episode is pretty cool. I'll place it right below B tier. Now for the edits. Maybe I have done some of these movies kind of dirty, and I need to fix up this tier list. Um, well, I think all these F tiers belong right there where they are. Maybe I was a bit too mean to Thor: Love and Thunder, and maybe you should go to C tier, but I'll I'll keep it in D tier for now. Also I'll put Loki, What If, and Shang-Chi in low B tier because they're okay. They're not the worst things in the world, and like these B tier Fib 4 ones are the ones that I'll maybe rewatch. Iron Man 3, I don't enjoy that much. I'll put it in C tier. I think I'll praise Far From Home a bit too much. I still really like it, but I still think these 6 movies are definitely better than Far From Home. Um, I'm gonna place Iron Great lower than these ones. I don't think Homecoming and No Way Home should be put in the same boat, so I'm gonna lower you. Actually, you know what? They can be in the same boat, but I'll put No Way Home around right here. Avengers is probably better than Civil War. Black Panther is better than both of them though. And I think that's it. I would rather watch this one than all of these ones, this one than all of these ones. I would rather watch these ones than these ones. I would rather watch these ones than these ones. Yep, these ones over these ones. Yeah, this is my complete tier list. If you haven't subscribed already, please do because that is much appreciated. And if you don't, then oh no, what am I gonna do? But if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Uh, I don't really know what to say, but goodbye, and I am really hoping that Black Panther 2 will be good.